Paris Fashion Week, a place where glamour, elegance, and daring innovation intertwine. Yet this season, one name rose above all others: Kim Taehyung, better known as V of BTS. When he stepped onto the streets of Paris en route to the Celine show, everything seemed to pause. The hum of the crowd dimmed, cameras clicked in rhythm, and even the October air seemed to hold its breath. Korean media poetically declared, "When BTS's V walks, Paris stops." That phrase soon dominated Naver, Korea's biggest online portal. But it wasn't an exaggeration. It captured a living moment of stillness, admiration, and awe that rippled through the city of light. Dressed in a light beige trench coat, crisp white shirt, patterned tie, and perfectly tailored trousers, V exuded timeless grace. His serene smile and understated confidence were magnetic. This wasn't merely an appearance at a fashion show. It was a cultural event. And for a few heartbeats, Paris truly stopped. Taehyung's connection to fashion didn't begin overnight. Since debuting with BTS, he has stood out as the member unafraid to experiment with color, texture, and silhouette. From silky blouses to velvet blazers, from soft pastels to electric blues, V's style has always straddled the line between classic and avant-garde. His journey into the fashion elite solidified when Celine appointed him as a global ambassador. For the French Maison, this wasn't a marketing gimmick. It was a recognition of his natural poise and ability to merge modern charisma with old-world grace. Beyond clothes, Taehyung is a visual artist. He photographers, sketches, and curates his personal style with an almost painterly sense of composition. In a past interview, he said, "Fashion is how I speak when I have nothing to say." That quiet philosophy explains why his presence resonates beyond pop culture. To him, style isn't adornment, it's storytelling. The journey began at Incheon Airport, where hundreds of fans waved banners and cameras followed his every move. By the time he arrived in Paris, anticipation had reached fever pitch. At the Celine venue, the guest list included Hollywood's Uma Thurman, Eddie Redmayne, and global fashion editors. But all eyes turned when Taehyung entered. Then came the moment that took over the internet, a small gesture that defined the day. As Uma Thurman's hair caught in the wind, Taehyung gently helped fix it before photographers began shooting. That fleeting act of grace turned viral across continents, hailed as pure elegance. India Times wrote, "Taehyung doesn't just walk the runway, he owns it. His grace silences the crowd." Within hours, the clip spread through X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, amassing millions of views. That day, Kim Taehyung didn't just attend Paris Fashion Week, he defined it. The aftermath came swiftly. As articles poured in from Paris, Vogue China published a feature naming Kim Taehyung among the best-dressed men at Paris Fashion Week. Their review stated, "Kim Taehyung embodies the perfect balance between grace and masculinity. His style captures the poetic soul of Paris itself." For the Asian fashion scene, such acknowledgement carries immense weight. Vogue China, a publication known for its discerning eye, rarely singles out celebrities from the pop world. In China's digital sphere, the topic "Vogue China Best Dressed Taehyung" trended for 2 consecutive days on Weibo. Stylists and fashion insiders praised him for blending Eastern sensitivity with Western sophistication. What began as a mere attendance turned into validation. Taehyung was no longer simply a K-pop idol. He had been welcomed as a fashion icon. Back in Korea, the online world erupted. The phrase, "When BTS's V walks, Paris stops," became the top trending topic on Naver. Netizens flooded the comments with pride and awe. "He's not just our idol, he's Korea's ambassador of elegance. Paris stopped because art was walking." Soon, fan artists recreated the phrase visually. Illustrations of Taehyung strolling down the Champs-Élysées, while the entire city stood still, mesmerized. Korean media followed with op-eds celebrating his cultural impact, calling him a new symbol of Korean soft power. Unlike most idols who attend fashion events as guests, TAEHYUNG had commanded the spotlight effortlessly. No entourage, no theatrics, just presence. In a city known for its restraint, his silence spoke volumes.
Soon, the global press joined the chorus. Vogue France, Elle, Harper's Bazaar, and GQ all featured articles on V's Paris appearance. GQ UK wrote, "In a city overflowing with luxury and poise, Kim Tae-hyung stands apart, effortlessly refined." Elle Japan described his demeanor as unassuming confidence, the rarest kind of beauty in fashion. In the US, cultural magazines compared him to legends like David Bowie and Yves Saint Laurent, men who didn't just wear fashion, but became it. Critics who are famously difficult to impress admitted that Taehyung brought a natural grace that transcended celebrity. He blurred the line between pop star and fashion visionary. For Paris, he was not just another guest, he was the moment. As always, the fans, ARMY, turned admiration into a worldwide celebration. Hashtags like #Taehyung at PFW, #ParisStopsForV, and #VCeline topped global Twitter trends within hours. Fan edits flooded social media, slow-motion clips of him walking the streets of Paris set to orchestral music, posters reimagining him as the Prince of Celine. Digital artists portrayed Paris literally frozen mid-motion as V passed by. Taxis halted, cafe patrons staring in awe, lights dimming. For ARMY, this wasn't just about fashion, it was a symbol of evolution. Their idol had crossed from pop phenomenon to international cultural figure. The pride was universal. Taehyung wasn't just representing BTS anymore, he was representing artistry, confidence, and quiet sophistication. What makes Taehyung's style stand out in an era obsessed with attention-grabbing looks? Balance. He combines the bold with the subtle, the traditional with the experimental. Unlike those who chase headlines, Taehyung captivates through restraint. His wardrobe favors neutral tones, soft fabrics, and clean silhouettes, fashion that whispers instead of shouts. One of his stylists once said, "Taehyung has an instinctive understanding of clothing. He knows how fabric moves with light. He studies the garments, the textures, and how they tell a story under the flash of cameras." In an interview with Elle Korea, he revealed, "I want people to feel calm when they look at me, like they're seeing a gentle painting." At Paris Fashion Week, that vision came to life. He wasn't dressed for attention, he embodied attention itself. Following his appearance, luxury brands began discreet discussions about collaborations. European and Japanese designers reportedly expressed interest in future partnerships. But beyond business, Taehyung's influence represents a shift, a bridge between K-culture and global haute couture. For years, K-pop idols were guests in fashion's grand halls, but now they are equals, creators, and trendsetters. V's quiet command at PFW proves that authenticity, not volume, defines true style. He redefined what K-fashion means, not flashy streetwear, but refined individuality. For young Asian artists, he's become a model of how to merge national identity with universal aesthetics. As one French journalist put it, Kim Tae-hyung doesn't follow fashion, fashion follows him. When the Celine lights dimmed and the crowd dispersed, a quiet realization lingered in the Parisian air. Something had changed. Taehyung didn't just walk through Paris Fashion Week, he left an imprint. He reminded the world that elegance is not loud, and grace is not fragile. When BTS's V walks, Paris stops. It's more than a trending phrase now, it's a cultural truth, a symbol of beauty that pauses time itself. As he exited the venue that evening, streetlights shimmered against the scene, and fans whispered his name like a melody. In that moment, fashion wasn't about garments or glamour, it was about presence. From Vogue China's pages to Naver's